How to increase semen thickness naturally? Let's understand this step by step. How healthy semen looks like. In a natural healthy state, semen is neither extremely thick nor watery. It sits right in the middle, moderately thick and white in color. It has a consistency that feels stable, not sticky like paste and not runny like water. When semen becomes too watery, it often appears transparent or very thin. When it becomes too thick, it can feel unusually sticky, clumpy, or heavy. But in a healthy state, it's neither too watery nor too thick. Rather, it's moderately thick and white in color, showing that the natural temperament of the sexual organs is balanced and undisturbed. Color also tells the story. A healthy semen is typically white or slightly off-white. If it starts appearing yellowish, very dull, or completely transparent, it may indicate that something in the internal balance is off, whether it's related to hydration, diet, or overall physical condition. Now, here is the deeper part most people miss. Healthy semen is not something that your body forces to produce. It's something that your body creates effortlessly when everything inside is in balance. You don't feel like something is wrong because nothing is. When semen is moderately thick, smooth, and white, it reflects a system that is balanced, stable, functioning without disturbance, and most importantly, working exactly the way it was designed to. Signs: your semen production system is strong. When your semen is healthy and stable, your body doesn't just keep it inside. It actually shows clear visible signs that everything is working exactly the way it should. You don't need tests or reports to understand this. Your body communicates it through your daily experience. One of the first signs is this: you don't face excessive nightfalls. It doesn't happen again and again every few days or multiple times in one night. Instead, everything remains controlled and occasional, or even minimal, without discomfort. Then comes another very clear sign. There is no semen leakage after urination. After you pass urine, everything remains clean and dry. There is no semen drop, no thin fluid, no sticky discharge. Because your system is not weak, it's holding everything properly inside without any loss. And then there is no premature ejaculation. Your body doesn't rush. It doesn't lose control quickly during intercourse. Instead, there is a natural sense of timing and control. Not forced, not practiced, but something that comes from within. Now, if you look at all these signs, one thing becomes very clear. Your body has developed natural control. This is what we can call strong semen retention power of the sexual organs. Your body is no longer leaking, rushing, or reacting unnecessarily. Rather, it's holding, regulating, and functioning properly. When semen becomes thin and watery, when the natural temperament of the sexual organs becomes disturbed, everything inside the body begins to shift. It doesn't happen all at once. It starts quietly and then slowly becomes visible through clear signs. The first change that usually appears is the quality of semen itself. Instead of being moderately thick and stable, it becomes thin, watery, and weak in consistency. And once this change begins, other problems start appearing one by one. You may begin to notice frequent nocturnal emissions happening again and again, sometimes every few days, or even multiple times in one night. Then comes semen leakage. After urination or even during the day, you may notice small drops or thin discharge. This is a sign that the system is no longer able to retain properly. And then along with this, there is a loss of control. The body becomes more reactive, more sensitive. And this often leads to premature ejaculation or early discharge. What was once stable and controlled now feels quick, unregulated, and unpredictable. All these problems are not separate issues. They are different expressions of the same underlying imbalance. While semen quality becomes weak in consistency. At the beginning, during puberty, semen is in its natural state. It's thick, stable, and of high quality. But later, owing to bad company, modern lifestyle habits slowly start taking over. Not suddenly, but gradually, layer by layer. It begins with sexual overstimulation like pornography and masturbation, drugs, smoking, late night activities like parties, lack of physical exercise, and most importantly, dietary overload. Food plays a deeper role than most people realize. When body is exposed again and again to heavy meat and eggs consumption, oily and fried foods, excessively spicy meals, frequent tea and coffee, it starts building internal heat, not visible on the outside, but slowly accumulating inside the system. And this internal heat doesn't only stay limited to digestion alone. It begins to affect the sensitive balance of the sexual organs. The system that once operated in a calm, controlled environment now starts experiencing irritation and overstimulation from within. Once this balance is disturbed, the first thing that begins to change is semen quality. It no longer maintains its natural stability. It gradually becomes thinner, weaker, less controlled. And from this point, everything else starts following. Nocturnal emission frequency increases, semen retention power of the sexual organs weakens, and the system begins to shift away from its natural design. Now coming over to last and most important part, how to make semen thick, stable and high quality. To restore semen thickness, you don't need to force anything. You simply need to bring the body back into balance. Because once balance returns, the body naturally begins to correct itself. The first step is always this: remove what is damaging the system, not partially, but consciously and consistently. First, understand what to avoid. Pornography, constant sexual stimulation that keeps the system active. Masturbation, repeated loss of semen and stability. Smoking and drugs, weakening internal strength. Late night activities, disturbing recovery. Irregular lifestyle, keeping the body out of rhythm. And along with this, avoid hot and dry temperament diet like meat, eggs, oily and fried foods, spicy meals, tea and coffee. These are not small factors. They continuously create internal heat and dryness. And as long as they remain, the body cannot fully recover. Once you start removing these, the next step is to support the body the right way. Now focus on what to do. Keep your routine simple, regular and healthy. Walk daily in the morning or evening. Eat light at night. Avoid late heavy dinners because digestion plays a central role here. If digestion is disturbed, the entire internal balance gets affected. That's why you can also support it properly using something like psyllium husk taken the correct way. 1 tablespoon soaked in milk or water at night and consumed on an empty stomach in the morning helps cool and soothe internal excessive heat and supports smooth digestion. Now comes the most important shift. Your diet needs to move from hot and dry temperament to cold and wet temperament. Start adding cold and wet temperament foods like cucumber, spinach, lettuce, pumpkin, watermelon, pomegranate, peach, etc. These foods help calm the system, reduce internal heat, and bring the body back into balance. Now, here is the most important part. None of this works overnight. But when you stay consistent, the body starts responding on its own. Slowly, strength begins to return, semen quality starts improving, semen thickness becomes more stable, Semen retention power improves naturally because the body was never designed to stay weak. It only needed the right environment to restore itself. If you would like a clear structured understanding of everything discussed in this video, you can download my nocturnal emission free PDF guide using the link in the description below. It summarizes the key concepts, symptoms, causes, and natural management principles in a simple step-by-step format.